Yep.
All right. We'll call the, 13th, August 13th, 2025, Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting to order. Just do a pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have. What do you mean? On the committee that's here. You're on the committee. right?
Am I on Buildings and Grounds? I got the email,
I believe so,
Oh,
yeah.
you are? I
Yep.
did- Yeah,
because we merged
we
the
did.
corporate park
Perfect.
committee and
You like-
Buildings and Grounds.
Even better. Will you join us?
Don't tell me I can't read it, I just.
Oh, that's right, I did. I did bunch of them. The only item on the agenda this morning is the easement request from PJ Samail for his property out on Route 12. Yep, is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, right? Think you all received copies of it? You said Justin has looked this over.
Yes, he has.
It's not surprising, I guess. He sees a little adjustment in the language.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions
What type of adjustments?
to the language?
Language, and he's just gonna, as he framed it, clean it up, and there'll be some legal fees that the PJ will be responsible for.
Which is typical. We deal with these things every day. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
This was done by land surveyors, it wasn't done by.
That's just the meat and round
It
description.
is.
Mhm.
It is.
So
It's a
I
typical
don't
one
have
to
a
put together.
problem with it. I just have one question of you, John, having dealt probably with the state. So if we grant an easement across our property and then we try to give it to the state, I know it's gonna take a couple of years. If they ever take it, does that create a problem for this, you think, in dedicating it to the state?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I would
The
move,
state's got to deal with the permit, the driveway permit anyway. Has nothing to do, with us, so I don't.
Even if they have an easement across us, they have to get a driveway permit from the state.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't see any problem with Paul.
okay, I would move we, provided, all of our costs are absorbed by Mr. Samail in recording and all that stuff. Did we pay for the survey or is that,
That's
He
his,
did. He did.
but it says it was done for us?
But yeah.
he paid for it. He provided it to us.
Marshall and I
Yeah.
confirmed that.
As long as there's no expenses to the agency for filing or granting the easement, I'm okay with it, I'd move that.
Okay. You have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to grant the easement for all stipulations. All in favor? Aye. Carrie, we will
So our-
then bring the recommendation to the board. Or do we need to, is this something he needs prior to our next board meeting?
He's, on our next board meeting is when he's hoping that we will approve it.
Okay.
So,
So we'll bring this, we'll recommend, your motion actually should be worded, it's a
The
recommendation
recommendation.
to the board. Right.
Maybe always.
She does. God bless her.
She'll have Jay making the motion by the end.
Didn't he?
Any other business to bring before the committee?
So wanted to talk about this a little bit because we don't need to be in the road business, so either this, we need to do whatever we can do to get it to the state or to the county.
Okay.
I mean, this could be part of, the county road.
yep, absolutely.
You mean as far as is the turning
The
lane?
turning lane itself.
The train lane itself.
So we need to work, whatever we need to do to get that.
We're going to continue doing that.
So-
I had, from our last discussion, and I was just, thank you, yeah. Because Jim had suggested to me that maybe we just keep it. And as I talked to more and more with the board members, and again, people tell me stuff and I'm just bringing it to you for discussion points, but absolutely, that has always been the plan. DOT, we've been working with them It's a long time consuming process. We do have a lot of the more time consuming pieces in place, like the abstract and all that other stuff. So you know, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't gone through yet, but we'll continue to get this donated to the DOT.
I mean,
We do have a current liability sitting there. We have the, you get a major car crash there, and they're gonna, whoever it is, their attorneys are coming after us.
Yeah.
You know, as owner of the road. And we don't have that ability to absorb even the legal costs of, you know, defending ourselves or anything like that, like the state or the county would, so.
And Dave, to your point, all of the cones have been pulled back, and that turning lane right now looks like, I mean, I used it when I went up there the day before yesterday for a different reason, but and actually it was interesting. I talked to Mr. Simeo. He called me yesterday, and said it said looked like the turning lane's working, and I said yeah, it's working, you know, but it's not striped. And to your point about an accident, that's a scary consideration, especially with it not being striped, and especially with the cones being just sort of moved out of the way. Now that you say that, I kind of want to go move the cones back into place, honestly.
Well, we have liability insurance. You should talk to our carrier whether or not our liability covers an accident on a roadway owned by us. I mean, we have liability insurance, don't we?
Or yeah, I mean,
Find out whether it carries it. I agree with Dave though. We don't want to own roads. And
so
after your speech last week about Jimmy Lawrence, my son who works for the town, I said, hey, how hard is it to deal with the state? He says they're good pain in the ass.
we deal with them every day. They're not fun, put it that way. But I guess I find it a little strange. Take the example over on Bradley Street, where the state required, first when UPS went in, behind the Honda store, they required them to put in a turning lane.
Mhm.
No different than this.
Yeah.
There was property that needed to transfer to put that in. And then when Love's went in, they did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Required a turning lane, and that whole process was, you know, was taken care of. But I guess I don't quite understand this. I didn't realize this until we started having this discussion, whatever, last meeting, that there was even an issue with this.
well, so it's there's no issue with there being a turning lane there. Their problem was the DOT's issue was with the specs with which it was created. This was what led to there being some friction, and we are streaming, so I'm just trying to keep this being some friction between county highway and DOT as DOT bringing it up that it may not be sufficient for how they want it to be. And so that brought up this whole thing about, you know, Jim supposedly not knowing how to build a road, and which is absurd. You know, that being said, the state has the specs with which they do these things with. They did sort of back off that a little bit, just to say that it wasn't as if it was constructed in such a way that it wouldn't be permitted, but it just was going to take a little bit more time for them to get the approvals because of the specs of which it was created. It's not that the problem wasn't with there being a turning lane there. The problem was that it didn't have 4 inches of tar or whatever it is that they put down. It had 3.5 inches or something to that effect.
Our transportation group works with these, you know, with the state built roads, et cetera. So I guess if there's a question with that, I can certainly get some answers
Yeah, that
on our part.
yeah. Especially with Jim leaving, it's actually put us in a little of a complex spot on a couple of issues with some grants and things like that. You know, everything that, you know, Jim was a wealth of knowledge, and it does make it a little tricky.
What's the next step with that?
With the turning lane, well, we're going to continue to work with DOT, get this easement squared away. I haven't heard back from. There's a meeting tomorrow with DOT in regards to the turning lane and the right-in piece. So, any updates that Mike Burgess provides, I'll hear tomorrow.
All right. Any other discussion?
What about our sign with Darren?
Darren's all for it. As I mentioned before, we haven't had any movement on that. I haven't had any further discussion. And that reminds me, I got to follow up again with Joel about that sliver. And as I mentioned before, Joel didn't see any issues with it. Just a matter of kind of getting that stuff done. And I talked to Darren. He actually didn't bring it up last time I saw him, and we had just talked yesterday. But so I guess the answer is we're nowhere further along than we were last time we talked about it. But it's something that we're going to get done.
You know, we could buy a antique box truck, put industrial park on it and park it on our easement there. Just pay the annual registration fee on the truck and just park it there. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised Jimmy John's doesn't want that off, that easement on. At which time we'll sell it.
What do
The
you
sign easement,
Yeah. The fact that you're surprised they don't want.
it to disappear, you know, that's taken, look at the size of the chunk of that land, that if they come in there, they may not want it there. There's nothing they can build there, we should be making sure nothing's done on our easement.
On our land, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed,
That's a good point.
agreed. Maybe we
I
know it.
I still like the idea of parking a box truck on it with the sign says,
Anyway, any other discussion?
motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.